culturally or scientifically relevant documents that they're not bestsellers and that couldn't be translated. Or again, some working with NGOs and other non-profit organizations who have limited resources or ignore the importance of a good information and translation strategy. We come back again to paying translators. We will talk about that later, but maybe we can help these organizations when they're starting up their activities, and then we can make them pay later when they are bigger and then they have the resources and they realize that they need to plan for translations. Yep. Any ideas, any comments about these ideas I mentioned about working with partner universities, for instance? I don't know if you have the discussion here. Yeah.
So we have already.
What you think? You think it's a valid idea?
I think it's a very good idea because, first of all, for trainee translators particularly, I think it would engage them early on in the process, and so they know they can learn from at an early stage how translation works and how difficult it can be to professionally add some polish to these things that could be distributed widely in another country. And I think there would also be a certain degree of personal satisfaction with the idea that great, I'm after subtitling a film that could be shown widely, but but having that personal satisfaction of and being able to develop confidence in the way a translator works and getting used to how they work and just developing personal self-confidence. Yeah. I think it would be important, particularly in relation to partner university, because I think in particular that not enough in language courses, particularly in the final years, that not enough translation gets offered, and it would be an opportunity to offer a little bit more. Like maybe not going into audio-visual dubbing and subtitling, etc., but offering simple translation options that provide an insight into what a translator interpreter does.
Yeah, there's important issues here. We're not going to raise it yet unless somebody else does about this idea. So any other comments about these ideas? Yeah?
What about kind of sister exchange programs? I mean, I think what kind of makes me nervous about minority information deprivation is this idea of the information flow going from west to south, meaning the global west to the global south, and not much coming in the other direction.
Maybe not only Erasmus programs but exchange programs we
have.
Yeah,
I mean, I would like to hear. I mean, if I was in a workshop the other day with a guy who was from South Africa, talking about raising the visibility of South African languages and their keyboards, their lettering, their what have you, and raising consciousness about that. But just the idea that it's not just about making it possible for people in the global South to read what's going on in the West, but also to make it such that we're reading about what's happening there and their development, their ideas, whatever, and an exchange program that is very much like, we want to bring those ideas here and share our ideas there, and in that space see.
That's an excellent idea. I mean, we have a cooperation agency at the University of Salamanca, and we might try to talk to them and see if we can have other non-European or non-Western universities. The difficulty always is to get those universities interested in the idea, and interested in the idea of having faculty, staff and students working on a complex project, because it needs a lot of organization, a lot of cooperation. And Spain is in a privileged situation because we have Latin America as well. And we can get Latin American information, films, etc. brought to Europe or to the rest of the world. But we are, for the last 3-4 years, I think we're working quite a lot with, and the whole University of Salamanca working quite a lot with African countries as well, and Asia, India mainly. So yeah, we could. That's an excellent idea, and I thank you for that.
The question is: this exercise, for instance, what the resident students do, is that built into the syllabus and it's credited as part of their work, or is it an extra task?
Well, partially. It used to be outside the syllabus. It used to be. Now, for the last 2-3 years, we decided to build it into the syllabus, and if they want to do, they can either. It's an elective subject, so they can actually take that subject and do the traineeships, or they can just do it because they like that. And some students, like Silvia, for instance, she's taken 2-3 traineeships in 2 years, I think. Just one of them counted as for credits. So yes, we try to give them credits for that.
These are in a 4-year undergrad degree?
Undergraduate degree. We're trying to work with postgraduate students as well, but the problem is the level of our 3rd and 4th year students is usually better than our postgraduate, because our postgraduate students come from many other studies and not really translation, so it's difficult to get them to a good level, up to good level in 1 or 2 years. I think you have similar problems maybe, and they come from different backgrounds as well.
But they have an awful lot to do in 1 year.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
That's true. Yeah. We try to work. We do work with some of them, some of the postgraduate students as well, and that is part of their syllabus. Any other comments, ideas, suggestions?
Just a very quick one with working with target language English. This is very appealing because it's not necessarily the case that you'll be doing kind of south-north, you know, I mean, you might just be doing north-north, but putting stuff into English, I hate being a native English speaker sometimes, but people from other countries with other languages, especially, you know, people for whom English might be their 4th language, like colleagues in South Africa, you know, they tell me, no, putting it into English is really good. Don't feel guilty. That's really good, you know, because that does make it hugely available. Not to everybody in their mother tongue, obviously, but it's probably the 2nd best option for most people, you know. So I think that, that this is very attractive to me. And we also have an awful lot of students now taking Spanish. And the commercial market for Spanish English, to my mind anyway, is nowhere near as healthy as the commercial market for German English, for whom we don't have many students, you know. So this is a good way of students getting a foot in with real work and exciting work, and yeah, you know, where the commercial work, like in German, you know, the companies are just saying, like, when will they be ready? Can you send them over? You know, it's very different, you know. So I think Spanish English is good, very good start. Yeah.
Okay, move on.
Okay, as we have already said, and before going on, we wanted to establish the main features of our proposal, I think. And this is what we're trying to obtain from our traineeship program, and this common agreement between NGOs and university. And we have seen that if we establish this traineeship with the non-profit organizations, we could obtain benefits obviously for the student training, because what we want to do is just to improve their education. So this is one of the best things we are going to do. And then help to humanitarian causes, but always non-interfering with the market.
That's the issue I mentioned earlier, that I don't know if somebody wants to raise that.
What does that mean?
We don't want to interfere with the market. We don't want to take the jobs away from professionals.
We're not here to do dumping, we're here to help.
We're producing professionals, so if we take the work from them, we have a problem. So this is a dilemma we always have.
Can I ask you, I mean, in case, for example, I mean, the UN, I mean, are there intentions available for everyone?
Not
Only
for
for
everyone.
Okay, but then there are some requirements.